Good afternoon, council members. My name is Zak Taylor, president of CCSG, and this is your October Council Review. This past weekend, we had the opportunity to meet with many of you to discuss the issues facing the Commonwealth. More importantly, if you're a liaison or going to be joining us for our November Council, stay tuned for what you can do to make sure that you're prepared with the actions and deliverables expected of you at CCSG Council. But first, let me share with you some of the things that we took into account as we were analyzing the results from your responses in our CCSG survey from October Council. First, we decided to move the survey portion of academic affairs to an ad hoc committee as per the comments we received. Additionally, we'd like to revisit some of the topics seen in student affairs and see what further progress we can make on there and if some of those deserve their own ad hoc committees as well. And lastly, we'd like to add cookies, ice cream, or some kind of dessert to the end of the lunch at our CCSG councils as per comments by some of the presidents and delegates from various campuses. Lastly, at our November Council, expect to see some of our wonderful chancellors from our chancellor panel. We'll see New Kensington, Greater Allegheny, Beaver, and possibly more chancellors joining us to answer your questions about what it's like running an administration at the Commonwealth campus. In governmental affairs, Dave and Riley discussed the various nuances to meeting with your local representatives at your campus. Looking at the deliverables that Dave and Riley have pushed down to the liaisons, number one is meeting with your local representatives. As they discussed, make sure you're setting up meetings with your community leaders, local representative, any borough townships, or anything like that. Number two, spread President Barron's call to action. His call to action is imperative so that we can make sure tuition stays low for our in-state students. His call to action not only outlines the impact that the impasse could have on our university, but also tells you how to make sure that that doesn't happen. Number three, look into the state budget. As we've gone over, a holistic understanding of issues is imperative to make sure that you are accurately conveying the messages of CCSG, of your campus, and of ultimately the university to make sure your local representatives understand why we need what we need. Number four, maintain a consistent liaison. It's extremely important that in maintaining a consistent message from each campus to campus and throughout the whole university, we need to make sure we keep talking to the same person and that you have at least one person on your campus who knows what's going on in the state budget. In the realm of student affairs, we've got DSAs from across the Commonwealth coming to the New Kensington campus for our November Council. We've got the Director of Student Affairs from the New Kensington campus, Greater Allegheny, as well as Fayette, and possibly more to come. Make sure that you're emailing your questions to Barb, our Student Affairs Committee Director, to make sure we're asking the DSAs a number of questions that are pertinent to the issues at your campus. Her email is B as in Bravo, X as in X-ray, A as in Alpha, 5160@psu.edu. Remember to send her your questions for these DSAs so that we can make sure we're making the best use of their time. In addition, make sure that you are looking at the campus artifact for your campus. There is the possibility of a new museum going up here at University Park, and they want to make sure that the Commonwealth is included in that museum. It is a museum for Penn State, so we want to get artifacts from every single corner of the Commonwealth. Talk to your stakeholders at your campus, including your SGA president and your constituents, to see what a good artifact might be and see if you can bring that to November Council. In addition, make sure that you are talking about the student affairs issues that y'all discussed at your committee. Some of those issues are very pertinent to what's going on at your campus, and make sure you get constituents' input before you come back. In academic affairs, you've got to send your committee minutes to Brit, your committee director. Make sure that at your campus, when you're running your committees, you're taking those minutes and sending them to Brit, so we can compile all of the issues at your Commonwealth campuses and see what the similarities are and address them in your committee. For the outlines, you guys of course talked about all of the surveys you're going to be doing. In those surveys, Britt talked about an outline for how long the survey is going to be, implementation methods, whether you're going to do paper or online, drafting questions for those, and surveying your SGA as well as your constituents and campus stakeholders for any issues that may be popping up. In addition, because we're moving the surveys to an ad hoc committee, we are looking for new topics in the Academic Affairs Committee. Talk to your constituents and find out what those new issues might be. In our November Council, you will see a lot of the same things you saw in October Council, including some new things. We've been changing certain things inside our committees to make sure that they are fitting the needs of each and every one of your campuses to the most specific level possible. Keep giving us feedback, keep contacting your committee directors and liaisons, make sure you're attentive to what those committee directors need. They are trying to coordinate things from things in Old Main and University Park and from decision makers all across the university and coordinate them to make sure they happen at your campus. We'll see you in November, and make sure you contact us if you've got any questions.